We are the SOG, guardians of the universe. We're not like the aliens you might imagine. Instead, we're made up of tiny particles, each no heavier than a speck of dust. Together, we're like a supercomputer watching over the universe. Today, we've discovered a new threat, a Category 10. In our journey, we've categorized all life forms. Categories 1 to 5 are non-thinking life forms. 6 and 7 are peaceful, intelligent beings. Category 8 are the peacekeepers, common in advanced societies. Category 9 are the aggressive ones, always battling for power and resources. Category 10 is different. It's for a species that grows and consumes without control, caring for nothing else. We call them world parasites. It's our job to manage and, if needed, eliminate them. For this, we've created a tool called essence. It's a substance that can change particles into matter. But this comes with a cost. The created matter is always tainted with essence and can drive nearby life forms mad or make them lose their will to live. It's a potent weapon against Category 10 entities. But once used, it takes centuries to clean up a planet. We never meant to harm the humans. We saw them as a strong Category 8. They had both defended and fought against every neighboring race in the universe. We even copied some human traits to our avatars. But like any Category 8, they either fall to a more powerful race or are left behind. The humans had to hide from the Bahal, who committed genocide against them. They ended up on a planet that was once home to a Category 10 species. We hoped the last traces of the essence had faded and wouldn't harm the humans. But it was their AIs that found the essence. They studied it and used it to produce fuel for their ships, a process cheaper and cleaner than their old methods. This event is known in their history, and ours, as the Fall. When they mixed the unique particles, the results were catastrophic. A huge ball, about 300 meters across, was ripped from their main spaceship. As it broke apart and fell towards the planet, parts of it heavily laced with essence started raining down. Our tiny units tried their best to slow down the fall, using all the power they had. When they ran out of power, they joined together to form a heat shield. Thanks to this, many humans survived. But we also became their downfall. We watched as humans slowly rebuilt and adapted to the harsh planet. It wasn't long before they found essence again. They saw how animals and plants had changed because of essence during the fall. Animals had more energy than they could store, and plants grew huge beyond natural limits. It was unbelievable for us, but we kept watching. Using these changes, humans started altering their own DNA and using essence in their bodies. It became a part of them, just like our units are a part of us. We were scared, but essence always leads to death. We expected the humans to go mad and destroy themselves, just like other Category 10 species. But it didn't happen. In just 25 years, humans had created weapons and ships powered by essence. We followed them as they used their new power to claim every world they could reach from any race that had wronged them. They were vengeful and powerful. For the next 100 years, they took over the stars. They lived long lives, and many of the original Matter-Mancers, as they called themselves, still led their forces. They were seen as indestructible gods by others. It only took 20 years for them to reclaim their old homes, pushing out anyone else. Their expansion seemed unstoppable. But when they found the ruined remains of Earth, they stopped for a day. It was a day of mourning. Their ancestral home, the birthplace of the strongest military force in the galaxy, was lost. And we wept too. Not because we felt sorry for the humans, but because we feared for the galaxy. We knew how deeply they wanted revenge. Many of us left out of fear, and only a third of us stayed. Those who stayed made a careful decision to reveal ourselves to the humans. It took us almost 100 cycles to get into their communications networks for a full broadcast. We decided that all humans should hear our message at the same time. It was a two-part message. We are the SOG. We're a swarm of tiny computers that has been protecting the galaxy from self-destruction since the beginning of the Milky Way. There are many of us in the universe, spread across countless stars. But you, humanity, have been our focus for 200 years now. We are the ones who exposed you to the subspace material called essence. We are the ones who brought this terrible curse upon you. And we ask only one thing. We ask for your forgiveness. The second part of the message contained everything we knew about essence, its creation, best usage, and our many failed attempts to destroy it. We also shared records of Category 10 races that were affected by essence. We wanted the humans to know everything about their exposure to essence. Their response was unexpected. We were surprised, even though we knew they were extraordinary. Madness? Suicide? Are these the symptoms of this curse you gave us? We've been fighting among ourselves, poisoning ourselves, others, and our world since we first existed. We've killed others and ourselves in large numbers throughout our history and journey to the stars. We've always resisted because we faced and conquered these challenges. But we don't see this as a curse. The ability to create tools without the need for heavy mining and manufacturing has given us the ultimate gift, the freedom to use our imaginations and the power to turn every idea into reality, not just for humanity, but for every individual human being. We've never seen such a burst of invention, art, culture, music, or beauty in our entire existence. What you gave us allowed us to go beyond our reality. We can't thank you enough for this. You are welcome anywhere in our territories. Ask us anything you wish. Our clusters across the galaxy work to their maximum capacity to understand the humans' message. It was unlike them to be so grateful and humble. So we did something we only do during times of war or danger. We brought all our clusters together and we worked. We analyzed every bit of data we had on the humans. And when we looked at the humans with the full power of our collective being, we saw something we hadn't noticed before. Empathy. They weren't doing all this out of spite, but out of empathy for those who had suffered. They wanted to stop the pain and bring happiness back to those who had lost so much. Their conquest of the stars was driven by a desire to see people feel joy as they returned to their old homes. We realized then that they were a deeply emotional race who had moved stars to read their hearts and minds of sadness and anger. And as the last enemy planet fell under human control, as the last human felt they were avenged, their weapons disappeared from their armories. Their warships were emptied of weapons and filled with cargo holds. And suddenly, the supply lines became trade routes between all the human colonies in the galaxy. As the other alien races watched in fear, humans began reaching out to them, offering goods and services they had never seen before. Culture and diplomacy were once again central to humanity, and while essence was still dangerous to the other races, humans found ways to purify it that were beyond anything we could have created. For the first time, we, the great clusters of SOG avatars, felt lesser, and for the first time, it felt good.